Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Good evening, everyone. Last week we talked about Sila group. So if you refrain from 4 unwholesome verbal actions, so that will be right speech. If you refrain from 3 unwholesome bodily actions, so that will be right action. Then if you refrain from 10 wholesome, if you refrain from 4 unwholesome verbal actions and 3 unwholesome bodily actions, altogether 7, in your job, in your profession, so that will be right livelihood. So today I think today we'll talk about the importance of morality or sila in the practice, in our practice, especially in meditation. Morality versus wisdom. So according to Sonadanda Brahmin, Sonadanda Brahmin, so there are 5 criteria or 5 qualities of a true Brahmins. If somebody want to say as a true Brahmin, there must be a 5 criteria according to him. So from Sonadanda, from Digha Nikaya. So actually, Sonadanda is one of the famous Brahmin at the time of the Buddha. So one time the Buddha visit Samba, is a small town that he stayed. So many people go and meet the Buddha because at the time the Buddha was very famous. Sonadanda Brahmin also looking at street. Many people are going to a forest where the Buddha stayed. Then he talked to his man, I also want to go. But other Brahmin told him not to go because the Gautama Buddha must come to you. Not for you to go to see the Gautama Buddha. But Sonadanda Brahmin didn't listen and went to the Buddha. So when he arrived, he was thinking, he was a famous, a well-known Brahmin at that time. He was thinking, he was worried that if the Gautama Buddha asks the question that I do not know, he was worried, he will be embarrassed. He was worried, but the Buddha knew. The Buddha knew that. For that reason, the Buddha asked a very easy question for him. Sonadanda Brahmin, what are the criteria to call as a true Brahmin? So Sonadanda Brahmin talk about these 5. So among these 5, without the last 2 virtue and wisdom, one cannot be called as a true Brahmin. As you all know that in India, even up to date, the Brahmin are considered as a high caste. So they are, layer or caste system in India, even nowadays. So very strong, very strong. So the Brahmin are highest. So the Buddha asked a simple question. The Buddha knew his mind. So Sonadanda Brahmin became very happy. He happily answered the question. Number one, a Brahmin were born and must have a pure descent to the 7th generation. So actually, as a Brahmin, it's important to have a pure descent from 7th generation. So one of the criteria. And number two, must wear bast in the Vedas. So Brahmanic scriptures. Number three, must handsome, pleasing appearance. This is one of the criteria of a Brahmin. So actually, the Brahmins are very handsome. They're very handsome because they are very. They are considered as a Aryan. Aryan. So they came down to India from Caucasus region. So they are very. Actually, they are related to like a Iranian people. So actually, the Iranian people are very beautiful. So they came down to India. Then those Aryan, they drive away local aborigines. We call it Dravidian. Dravidian. So they set up a very, deeply rooted system. It's called caste system. So they consider the Brahmin caste is considered as the highest. So they are differently. Even untouchable people, Even nowadays, some of the people are considered untouchable. Even you cannot touch them, But in this case, so Buddha allowed everyone to become a Buddhist monks or nun. If they became Buddhist monks and nuns, so they are called Sakyapodhya, the son of the Sakyan. So they became the same, So actually, Venerable, Sariputta, Moggallana, Mahakassapa, all these are Brahmin race. So Venerable Ananda, Anuruddha, they are from ruling class. So there are many. Venerable Radha is very from a very low caste system, like this, right? So as a Brahmin, must be wear-bars in the Vedas. Number three, must handsome and pleasing appearance. Number four, must have a virtuous behavior. So here, virtuous behavior means must have a sila. Number five, must have wisdom. So these are 5 criteria of the true Brahmin. So Sonadana Brahmin came to see the Buddha with a lot of followers. So there are other Brahmins accompany him. And the Buddha asked a follow-up question. Sonadana Brahmin, you have a 5 criteria of a true Brahmin. Can you exclude one criterion, one quality out of these 5? Can you stay called as a true Brahmin? The Buddha follow-up question. Then Sonadana Brahmin, as a very wise Brahmin, he said that yes, we can take out number 1. What is number 1? 7 generation. 7 generation. Then he said that even we take out number 1, someone who is well-versed in the Vedas, handsome, virtue and wisdom, so can call be true Brahmin. Actually, the Brahmin who follow him, they do not like. They make noise. They make noise. Oh, actually, sorry. He take out number 3, handsome. Handsome. So if somebody is not handsome, if he is a pure generation, pure descent, and also well-versed, virtuous, and wise, can be called a true Brahmin. It's still okay, even if Brahmin is ugly, can be called as a true Brahmin. Then the Buddha say, if we take out another one from out of 4, can you still call a true Brahmin? Then he think, yes. And he will take out number 1, number 1. Number 1 is a pure descent. So even though the Brahmin is not a pure descent, not well born, right? Even though a Brahmin is not well born, if he is well versed in the Vedas, if he is virtuous, if he is wise, can be called a true Brahmin. Now, only left 3, well versed in the Vedas and virtuous and wise. And the Buddha told him, out of these 3, can you take out another one? If we take out another one, can you still call as a true Brahmin? Then Sanatana Brahmin, actually the Brahmin behind make noise. Then they make noise, take care. Sanatana Brahmin, take care, If you take out another one, you will follow teachings of the Buddha, teachings of Gautama Buddha. Then Sanatana Brahmin taught to them, listen, quiet, be quiet. I will tackle this problem. Then he said that yes, if a Brahmin has a 2 quality, virtuous behavior and wisdom. If someone has a 2 quality, virtuous behavior and wisdom, can be called as a true Brahmin. So actually the other 3 are important, but compared to the last 3, the last 2, Sila and Panya, the other are not important, Then the Brahmin behind may of course make a lot of noise. So the Buddha said that yes, you're right. Even though a person is not well born, even though a person is not well versed in religious scriptures, even though a person is not handsome, if he or she has 2 qualities, virtuous behavior and wisdom, can be called a true Brahmin. So actually here, for that reason, in Buddhism, whoever, whatever caste they come in, so if they are virtuous, if they are wise, they can be called a good monk, a good nun. So in Buddhism, actually, the background are not important. Only 2 quality, sila and wisdom. So I think if we study Sanatana Sutta, it's very beautiful sutta. Actually, if we study this sutta, we can understand teachings of the Buddha clearly. Actually, the Buddha used, the beautiful method to teach Brahmin who are very arrogant in regard to their caste system. And the Buddha further asked question. Sanatana Brahmin, now we have a 2 quality to call is a true Brahmin. Can you take out another one? The Brahmin said, no, cannot. So these are 2 qualities that are important. So actually, they are mutually supportive, cannot be separated. Just as one could use one hand to watch the other hand, so too, Panya is purified by Sila. Sila is purified by Panya. Actually, these 2 are important. For that reason, in the 9 quality of the Buddha, we have a 1 quality, Vajja Charana Sampanno. Vajja is a wisdom. Charana, practice. Another one, it is called Sila. So, Panya is purified by Sila. Sila is purified by Panya. So if we study Sonadanda Soda, we can understand that they are mutually supportive. If you are not virtuous, that means you don't have wisdom. If you have a wisdom, you are virtuous automatically. Morality and wisdom are mutually supportive. Even though Sila is a foundation for purity of mind, Sila alone is not enough. The Buddha clearly rejected the theory of contemporary teachers who claim that fulfillment of Sila alone can acquire purity of the mind. Just Sila alone is not enough. Actually, in senior monks who follow Vinaya rules seriously, they have a Sila, so they think that Sila is more important than everything. So they strictly follow Sila, rigidly follow Sila. Even if observant of Sila can harm other people, they will still follow. Actually, such idea, I think, is not accepted. So here, what I want to say is, Sila is foundation for the higher spiritual achievement. Sila is highlighted as a foundation for Samadhi and Panya in many sutta. Samadhi means concentration, Panya means wisdom. So later we will define what is wisdom. We know that Samadhi is concentration. In Jatana Sutta, the Buddha answered the question asked by a deity regarding with the method how to escape from internal and external tangle or network of craving. So there are a lot of craving in our mind. How to solve all these, how to eradicate all these craving. So the Buddha gives this verse, this teaching. After having stood on Sila, a wise man develops Samadhi and Panya, concentration and wisdom. A bhikkhu who is ardent, sagacious, can disentangle this tangle. So actually, this particular verse is very important. Based on this verse, Venerable Buddhaghosa wrote a very famous text. It's called Visuddhimagga, based on this text. But in this verse, actually, Venerable Buddhaghosa went to Sri Lanka to translate ancient commentary into Pali. So those ancient commentary are written in Sinhala, in local language. So those who cannot read Sinhala, nobody cannot read. So he went to India. He was asked to go to India to translate ancient commentary into Pali. So when he approached senior monks at the time, so senior monks doubt whether this monk, whether he has the ability to write, to translate. Then they give a one verse, a one Pali poem, this one. So based on this verse, you write a text. Then Venerable Buddhaghosa write Visuddhimagga, the path of purity or the path of purification. Actually, so Visuddhimagga is written based on 3-4 trainings, 3 higher trainings: Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So if you want to develop concentration and wisdom, so you have to establish sila first. You must have a sila. If you do not establish on sila, you cannot develop. You cannot cultivate samadhi and panya. So this is a very important verse. So if we look at this sutta, we understand that sila is important. Sila is the foundation for the highest spiritual achievement. So for that reason, when you go to meditation retreat, you have to observe a precept, right? The importance of sila. Then you have to send meditator. They encourage to practice silent. No talking at all. So in that way, no chance to speak wrong, to use wrong speeches. Then when you look at Pala Sutta, we can understand the nature of sila. Bhikkhus, just as wherever strangest deeds are done, are all done based upon the art. So when you want to do something, you have to base on the art and you do something. No, you are sitting down based on the art. Establish upon the art. So too, based upon virtue, sila. Actually here, Bhikkhu Bodhi translate virtue. Morality. Establish upon virtue, a bhikkhu develops and cultivates the Noble Eightfold Path. So when you want to practice the Noble Eightfold Path, you have to establish sila first. So then only you will be able to cultivate. If you look at this sutta, so we can understand, the importance of sila. Sile patittaya naro sapanyo. Earlier verse. So establish on sila. So we have to develop concentrations and wisdom. If you want to practice the Noble Eightfold Path, establish sila first. Another sutta, those wholesome virtues spoken of by the Blessed One were spoken of by him for the purpose of developing the four establishments of mindfulness. So actually the Buddha talk about sila with the intention of developing four foundations of mindfulness. So here also we can learn the importance of sila. So we have learned one sutta, Kimmatiya Sutta. Actually, what is the purpose? What is the purpose? The name of the sutta is what is the purpose? We have learned in last year lessons. What is the purpose and benefit of wholesome virtuous behavior? So what is the purpose of sila? The purpose and benefit of virtuous behavior is non-regret. So if you are virtuous, if you do not use unwholesome speeches, if you do not do any unwholesome actions, so there's no regret. There's no regret. There's no remorse. That is the purpose. So normally we keep precept. We are not doing any wrongdoing with our speeches, with our actions. The reason is we don't want remorse. We don't want regret. For those who are using unwholesome speeches and doing unwholesome actions, there will be a lot of regret. Quite natural. So that means if you have a sila, no regret at all. No regret at all. What is the purpose of non-regret? That is for joy. If there's no regret, So you will have a joy. What is the purpose of joy? The purpose of joy is a rapture. It's very, how to say, higher, happiness, getting high, rapture. What is the purpose of rapture? For tranquility. If you have a rapture, you have a tranquil mind and tranquil body. What is the purpose of tranquility? It is the pleasure, bodily and mental pleasure. What is the purpose of pleasure? Sukha, concentrations. What is the purpose of concentrations? The knowledge and vision of things as they really are. If you have a concentration, and you will know everything in their true nature. A nature as a nature. Dukkha as a dukkha. Anatta as a anatta. The knowledge and vision of things as they really are. That's the purpose of concentrations. Actually, we are developing concentrations in the meditation. The purpose as a advanced Buddhist, the purpose should be to know everything in their true nature. A nature as a nature. Anatta as a anatta. Dukkha as a dukkha. What is the purpose of Yatha Buddha Jnana Darsana? Actually, in especially Thai monks, so when they are talking Dhamma talk, they use this one very often. Yatha Buddha Jnana Darsana. The knowledge and vision of things as they really are. So what is the purpose of this one? The purpose is for disenchantment and dispassion. That's the purpose. So we have a lot of suffering in our mind. The reason is we have a lot of enchantment. We have a lot of passion or attachment in our mind. If you know everything in their true natures, then you no longer have enchantment or craving or attachment or passion. Then you will have disenchantment and dispassion. What is the purpose of disenchantment and dispassion? Number 10, the knowledge and vision of liberation. Your mind will be liberated. Even though you see unpleasant things, even though you are dealing with unpleasant people, there will be no anger. Even though you are experiencing enticing thing, that your mind will not be pulled, by the objects. You will be stable life. The knowledge and vision of liberation. You will the knowledge of liberation. Actually, this is a, how to say, even we can, some scholar, they call it dependent originations. Actually, there is another type of dependent originations. Because of having sila, you don't have a remorse. If you don't have a remorse, you have a joy. Then because of joy, rapture arises. Because of rapture, tranquility arises. Because of tranquility and pleasure arises. Because of pleasure, concentration arises. Because of concentrations, the knowledge of things as they really are will arise. Yatha Buddha Jnana Darsana. If you have that vision or that knowledge, and you will have a disenchantment and dispassion. If you have a disenchantment and dispassion, then you have the knowledge and vision of liberation. If your mind is liberated, any moment, no suffering at all. No suffering at all. So that is liberation. Actually, liberation is nothing but Nibbana. Question? Any question? Okay.
Bhante, could you kindly explain the contradiction almost. When we are covering the Noble Eightfold Path, it is right view that precedes everything else. And yet, the Visuddhimagga Buddhaghosa has said to the bhikkhus, Sila is the foundation of everything. Can you help to resolve that, please?
Okay, good question. Actually, if we have a right view, we will have a right intention or right thought. So these two qualities are important for the rising of sila. Sila. The other three, the last three, right effect, right mindfulness, and right concentrations, and also right view and right intention. These five, these five are called Karakamagga. Karakamagga, actually, Visuddhimagga mentioned. Karakamagga means how to say the walker, the walker, the one who are walking. The moment you are practicing meditations, sila, no, they are not walking. Sila, in the Noble Eightfold Path, we have a 3 sila, right? Sila group. So you have to do before you practice meditation. But the moment you are meditating, 5, right view, right intention, right effect, right mindfulness, and right concentration, they will be walking together. So Visuddhimagga give the name as a Karakamagga. We can call it the walk group, They will be walking together. And also when we learn, we have learned one sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, Chattarisika Sutta. Chattarisika Sutta. So in that sutta also, if you carefully read that sutta, we can understand why Venerable Buddhaghosa give these 5 as a Karakamagga. So the path that are walking together. So actually, among the Noble Eightfold Path, right view important, right intention important for the rising of sila. Then after establishing sila, after keeping or following wholesome virtual behavior, then you can start your meditation. Right effect, you have to make a lot of effort. Today we have to learn. Then you have to be very mindful. Then you have a right concentrations. Then at that time, there will be right view as well. The more you practice, the more you have a higher right view. The more you have a higher right view, then you have a higher right thought or intention. Then, collaboration of these 5 will give birth right knowledge, samanyana, right knowledge. So, right knowledge, know 4 noble truths. Then, if you know 4 noble truths through right knowledge, then you will have a right liberation. Right liberation. So that means you will attain Nibbana. So in that sequence, so we can understand that. So sila have to be practiced before we walk on the path. Not on walk on the path, before we do meditation. And also some other teachers also say that the moment we are practicing meditations, we are refraining from unwholesome behavior. So that means we are observing sila at that moment. But according to Visuddhimagga, it doesn't say so, but only 5, the moment you are meditating, right view, right intention, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. These are Karaka Magga. So they are the one who are walking in the company, in the in the family. Suppose family, you have 8 family members, only 5 are walking, just like that. Also, when you learn Chatu, how to say, grade 40, grade 40 Soda in Majjhima Nikaya, I think you can understand. So that what he's saying. Okay. Question? More question? Okay, so I think up to now, so we can understand the importance of Sila. And also, I also want to quote one Soda, Foundation for Fire Spiritual Achievement. The same thing, bhikkhus, just as wherever stringent deeds are done based on the art, so too, based upon virtue or based upon Sila, established on Sila, a bhikkhu develop and cultivate the 4 right strivings. 4 right strivings. Samapatthana. Samapatthana. Earlier Sutta talk about based on Sila, we can practice the Noble Eightfold Path. But here, based on Sila, we practice 4 right strivings. Actually, 4 right strivings are nothing but right effort. So we have a 4 type of right effort. Samavayama. Samavayama. Chula Vedana Sutta said that right effort, samavayama, right mindfulness, samasati, and right concentrations, samasamadhi. These states are included in the aggregate or concentrations. Aggregate or concentrations. So in Chula Vedana Sutta, actually this Sutta is famous for these teachings. So we have a Sila, Samadhi, Panya, right? We have a 3 higher training, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So right effort, the Noble Eightfold Path, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. All these 3 are added into concentration group. Concentration group. And also, Chula Vedana Sutta actually define what is concentrations. Unification of mind. From Visakha is concentrations. Actually, Bhikkhuni Dhammadena is talking to her ex-husband, Visakha. But here, what is concentrations? The unification of the mind. So the mind unified in one object. So that is called concentration or samadhi. The 4 foundations of mindfulness are the basis of concentrations or the object of concentrations. So if you want to achieve higher concentrations, you have to base on the 4 foundations of mindfulness. If you want to attain concentrations, you have to practice 4 objects of mindfulness. Later we will learn Mahasatipatthana Sutta. So if you learn here, mindfulness, right mindfulness is added into concentration group. So the reason is, it is the object or the basis for the arising of concentration. If you practice based on 4 foundations of mindfulness, then you will have a concentration. For that reason, it is added into samadhi group, concentration group. Then, the 4 type of striving, samapatthana, So 4 type of striving, in other words, 4 type of right effect are the equipment of concentrations. So actually 4 type of right effect that we are going to learn are the equipment, right? The equipment of concentrations. Without these equipments, you cannot achieve concentration. So for the arising of concentrations, 4 type of right effect are important. For that reason, it is added into concentration group. So actually, right effect, right mindfulness, right concentrations. So these 3 are added into samadhi group or concentration group. Samadhi, of course, we don't need to talk about it. And mindfulness. The reason to add in the samadhi group is it is the base or the object for the practice of meditation. So based on 4 foundations or 4 bases, then you can develop concentration. For that reason, right mindfulness is added into samadhi group. Right effect also added into samadhi group, concentration group. So the reason is, it is important, it is the equipment or requisites for the rising of concentrations. If you don't have 4 type of right effect, no way to achieve concentrations. For that reason, it's called, it is added into samadhi group. The repetition, actually this is from the Sutta, the repetition, asavana, development, and repeated exercise, or these same states is the development of concentrations. If you practice mindfulness again and again, if you practice 4 type of right effect repeatedly, then you are developing concentration. So actually, we are talking about concentration group 3, right? 3. So here, we can understand samadhi bhavana. Here, bhavana means meditation. If you look at this sutta, we can understand that developing mindfulness and practicing 4 type of right effect, we are developing concentrations. So if you are concentrated, what is the purpose of concentrations? You still remember? Earlier sutta we talked about the purpose of concentration. To see things as they really are. No? It is important to see everything as they really are, objectively. If we see everything objectively as they really are, there's no suffering at all. There's no suffering at all. But here, to develop concentration, you need to practice mindfulness. And also you need to practice 4 type of right effect. But here, Bhikkhuni Dhammadena use not right effect, 4 type of right strivings. Striving and effect, they're the same. No? The same. Any question? You understand? I think you still have perplexity. Any question? Yeah? As you all know that we have a 4 noble paths are divided into 3. Sila group. Last week we already learned 3 Sila group. Right speech, right action, right livelihood. Now we are going to learn concentration group. Right effect, right mindfulness, and right concentrations. According to Chula Vedana Sutta, these 3, right effect, right mindfulness and right concentrations are added into samadhi group. Samadhi group. And right effect, right view and right intention or right thought. These two are added into wisdom group, panya group. Now we are going to learn concentration group. Because actually concentrations are very important. This is all about meditations. If you are developing concentration correctly, you are meditating. You are meditating. No question, huh? Okay. Let's talk about right effect, samavayama. Number 6, right effect. And what bhikkhu is right effect? Number 1, here bhikkhus, a bhikkhu generates desire for the non-arising or unarisen evil and wholesome actions. Generates a desire. But here we have 4 types of right effect. It is important for meditator. If you don't have these equipment, actually, how to say that? Chula Veda, Bhikkhuni Dhammarina said equipment, you know. If you don't have all these equipment, 4 equipment, you cannot meditate. You cannot meditate. But yet, number 1, a bhikkhu generates a desire for the non-arising of an arisen evil and wholesome states. So we have an arisen evil and wholesome state, but you have to try not to arise. Prevention, you know, prevention. He makes an effort, arouse energy, applying his mind and strives. Very strong, you know, very strong. Make an effort, arouse energy, applying his mind and strives. So for that reason, striving, you know, samapadana. For those who learn Abhidhamma, we have 4 types of striving, 4 types of samapadana. The same thing, you know, the same. Number 2, he generates desire for abandoning of arisen evil and wholesome states. He make an effort, he arouse energy, and also strive. If we have evil and wholesome state in our mind, abandon them, drive them away. Abandonment, you know, abandonment. If you cannot abandon them, you cannot continue meditation. Number 3, he generates desire for the rising of an arisen wholesome states. Here, wholesome. He makes an effort, arouse energy, and strive. But yeah, rising or make effort for the rising of an arisen wholesome states. If there's no wholesome state in your mind, then you trying to generate, you know, trying to generate. You make an happy effort. Number 4, he generates desire for the maintenance of arisen wholesome states. So if you have a wholesome state in your mind, then trying to maintain. For their non-decay, for their increase, expansion, fulfillment by development, trying to expand those wholesome quality. He makes an effort, arouse energy, apply his mind, and strives. If we learn this one, we do not know what are the wholesome and what are the unwholesome. How to prevent, how to maintain, how to abandon, how to protect. So we need to learn based on the Sutta. Actually here, in Vibhanga Sutta, the Buddha just gave, you know, just a brief. This is called right effect. So if you learn this one, we have to prevent, so how to say, we have to drive the unwholesome mental state in our mind. And we have to prevent unwholesome mental state that hasn't arisen yet. Number 3, so we have to, develop, we have to try to develop wholesome quality that we do not have. If we have a wholesome quality in our mind, we have to maintain them and protect them. Very beautiful. So this is definition of affect. Definition of energy, energy. We have a 4 type of right affect. According to Samvara Sutta and Padana Sutta, 4 type of right affect can be explained with the 4 type of striving. Actually, they are the same. 4 type of right affect, 4 type of striving. They are the same. But this sutta, these 2 sutta, elaborate a little bit. So when we learn these 2 suttas, we understand what is right affect. Number 1, the non-arising of and arising evil unwholesome states. If you don't have unwholesome state, trying to prevent, prevention, by way of striving by restraint. Then I think I will use the sutta. Anguttara Nikaya, page number 402. 402. Actually, I already sent out this sutta 2 weeks ago, I think. No? So, here, number 1, the non-arising of unreason evil unwholesome actions. How to prevent unwholesome actions? So, according to this sutta, striving by restraint, we have to control. By way of, undertaking the restraint of 6 sense faculties. So by seeing with your eye, unwholesome quality will arise in your mind. If you hear, unwholesome mental state will arise. If you smell, and if you taste, if you touch, if you think, unwholesome mental state will arise. Then, if it is so, you have to control your faculties, your senses, not to arise unwholesome mental state. That's the first method. So here, the Buddha said that, and what bhikkhus is a striving by restraint. Here, having seen a form with the eye, a bhikkhu does not grasp its marks and features. Since if he left the eye faculty and restraint, but unwholesome state of longing and dejecting might invade him. He practiced restraint over it. He got the eye faculty. He undertake the restraint of the eye faculty. And the other one is having heard the sound, having smell an odor with the nose, having taste with the tongue, having felt a tactile object with the body, having cognized a mental phenomenon with the mind. Actually here, if we look at this sutta, we have to control our senses. We have 6 senses, not to arise unwholesome mental state. But here, unwholesome mental state, the Buddha say, longing and dejection. So when we see beautiful and unpleasant things, longing will arise. if we see unpleasant things, digestion or aversion will arise. So we have to control our eye, our ear, nose, tongue, the body, and the mind. So that is striving by restraint. Striving by restraint. For that reason, in the meditation retreat, you have to control, right? Contact with your eye. You have to stay in the meditation center. No noise, no noise, no smell, etc. etc. Number 2, the abandoning or raising even unwholesome states. So by way of striving by abandonment. Here, so if you have unwholesome mental state in our mind, we have to abandon them. So what are the unwholesome mental state according to this Sutta? Sensual thought, airway, and thought of harming. Actually, we already learned this one. Under right intention. So these are wrong intention. So by seeing something, by hearing something, etc., so you will have sensual thought, airway, and the thought of harming. So you have to abandon them. If they arise in our mind, you have to abandon them. So this is called right effect. But here, right effect or using our own energy me, when we don't have any unwholesome mental state in our mind, we have to prevent by controlling our senses. Then if we have an unwholesome mental state arises in our mind, we have to abandon them. Then in our mind, we will have sensual thought, airway, and the thought of harming while we are meditating. Then we have to abandon them. That is called right effect. Actually, it's very beautiful the way the Buddha defined effect or energy in Pali, Viriya. Very beautiful. 3 ways, 3 definitions. If we have unwholesome mental state, abandon them. So that will be right effect. If we do not abandon them, no. So while we are meditating, a thought came in, we delighted to think about it, sensual thought. Then if we think someone we do not like, an ill might arise. Then we stay thinking of that one. Especially when we are meditating, the like and dislike, very obvious in our mind. So they are unwholesome mental state. If you do not abandon them, so that means you don't have a right effect. Without right effect, you cannot attain concentrations. So actually, 4 types of right effect are equipment for the arising or for the achieving of concentrations. Number 3, for the arising of and raising wholesome states. So actually, you want to develop wholesome states in your mind. How to do it? Striving by development. So you have to develop. You have to try hard to develop. So what are the things to develop? According to this Sutta, developing 7 factors of enlightenment. Developing 7 factors of enlightenment. Bojjhanga. Every Saturday we are chanting Bojjhanga, Actually, for those who are attending Bojjhanga, you know. Sati, mindfulness. And Viriya, right effect. Energy, Viriya. You have to be very mindful when you are practicing meditations. And you must use your energy or effort to keep on concentrating meditation object. And also at the same time, you must have investigating. Actually investigating what is happening in your mind, your body. Actually investigation nothing but wisdom, a type of wisdom. So if you have 3 quality, mindfulness, energy, and investigating mind, then you will have a rapture piti. You have a rapture piti. Then if the rapture is getting stronger, then you will have a tranquility. If the tranquility is established, then there will be concentrations. Concentration will arise. If your mind is concentrated, you will have equanimous mind, equanimity, ubekha. Equanimity. Your mind is not shaken by pleasant or unpleasant things. Your mind is very stable, equanimous, Your mind is stable and just focus on meditation object. That's the ubekha or equanimity. So these 7 factors are important for the rising of enlightenment. For that reason, it's called Bojjhanga. Bojjhanga means the factors of enlightenment. If you want to attain enlightenment, you must have these 7 factors. I think today you will understand, these how to say the complex nature of the teachings. So today I will clarify, because now we talk about Four Noble Truth, the Noble Eightfold Path. Then we talk about 7 factors of enlightenment. Everything is important for the rising of enlightenment. Today you will know it, how to understand. Today you will know it. So here, if you don't have wholesome quality, wholesome mental state in your mind, you have to strive for the development of those wholesome ones. So what are the wholesome quality? According to, actually we are talking about attainment of higher spiritual achievement, especially Nibbana. If you want to attain enlightenment or Nibbana, then you must have you have to develop 7 factors of enlightenment. Satta Bojjhanga. So that is striving by development. Next one, the last one is the maintenance of raising wholesome states. So if you have wholesome states in your mind, trying to maintain them. By way of striving by protection, trying to protect them. How to protect? So according to this Sutta, so protection means maintaining or protecting a good object of concentration. Suppose you are meditating, you use one meditation object. So because based on that meditation object, your mind is concentrated. So you have a nimitta, an object, clear object, for the rising of a deeper level of concentration, trying to protect. Then this Sutta, Samvada Sutta mentioned, actually in this Sutta, the Buddha mentioned 5 types of Asubha Bhavana. As an example. So actually here, Asubha Bhavana means, so what is striving by protection? Here, a bhikkhu protects a raising excellent object of concentrations. Wherever object you use for your meditation, if that object produces a deeper level of concentrations, trying to protect, trying to maintain that object. The perception of a skeleton, perception of a worm-infected corpse, the perception of a living corpse, the perception of a festering corpse, the perception of a fissured corpse, the perception of a bloated corpse. Actually, in this Sutta, so the Buddha gave a 5 types of Asubha Bhavana, but actually we have a 10 type of Asubha Bhavana. Next year, we will learn all these one. But for the time being, just keep it for a while. So next year we'll learn all these 10 type of Asubha Bhavana. So suppose if you are practicing meditation based on skeleton object, then you close your eye, you see skeleton, then you close your eye, you still see it. So that skeleton object is very, very clear in your mind. So trying to maintain that meditation object. Don't change to another meditation object. So that is called, actually just example. Suppose when you are practicing breathing meditation. So based on breath, that object, and you have concentrations, trying to maintain that meditation object. So that is called striving by protection. So these are the 4 type of right effect. Okay, any question? Okay.
Bhante, for concentration, we need a sign, a nimitta, as you say just now.
Yeah.
But I read somewhere there's something called signless concentration, amita concentration. Can you define what is amita or signless concentration?
Actually, silent concentration means normally when you see a person, we take as a person. Suppose when we see as a man, when we see a lady, you take as a sign. So when you have a deeper level of concentrations, so when you see a lady, you just see as a mental and physical phenomena. You do not see as a sign, no? As a sign. So you just see it as a mental and physical phenomena. So if you have such type of signless vision, so there is no attachment in our mind. So for that reason, for those who achieve such very higher level, there's no attachment. There's no dejection or aversion in their mind. So whoever they see, they just see it as a, signless. Signless here means, even this soda, we have a one, the Buddha said that. Look at page number 402. And the Buddha said that, here, having seen a form with the eye, a bhikkhu does not grasp its marks, and also features, its marks and features. Normally, when we see a person, we try to grasp what is the face look like, what is the body look like, what is the sound look like. So these are the signs, These are the signs. So actually, when you become, a very mindful, then you don't have all these signs will disappear. You just see as the heap of mental and physical phenomena. That is called signless. And another soda that I have sent today, this morning, Majjhima Nikaya, soda number 152. So when Venerable Sariputta came back from Penapada, and the Buddha asked, Sariputta, so your appearance, appearance look stream and very peaceful. What kind of abiding you are living? The Venerable Sariputta said, I'm living voidness. Voidness. Voidness here means silent, the same thing. The same thing. Actually, this is a very high, higher, seeing things in their true nature. Normally, when we see a person, we see as a, as a whole, as a whole. For that reason, we call it aggregate. So when the noble Arya Sangha, just like especially for Nurratana Arahant, as a Sotapanna and Sakadagami, they still see as a, as a whole. But when somebody became Nurratana and Arahant, they do not see like this. So they see as a, the heap of, aggregate of a billion and millions of small particles. Suppose if they see opposite sex, so they do not see as the opposite sex. So they see as the combination of a small particles, even the bearing. So they do not see as a bearing, because they are concentrating so deep that they can see, the combination of small particles, not as a whole. They can analyze, They can analyze. Normally, as a normal person, if we see opposite sex, then craving automatically arise, because we see as a soul, we see as a nimitta. But as a Nurratana and Arahant, they can see the body and material, every material phenomena in their true natures. So actually, our body is a combination of small particles, billions and millions of particles. We cannot analyze. We cannot analyze. But for those who are meditating seriously, they can analyze their body by way of small particles. They can see with their wisdom, wisdom eye. They close their eye, then they look at their body. They see as a, the heap of, different type of particles in the body. So when somebody can do that, like a Venerable Sariputta is a Arahant, so he can practice voidness, Sunyata, we call it Sunyata, or animated. Okay. So in this regard, maybe I want to differentiate, the understanding of Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahant. As a Sotapanna, if he see a beautiful thing, still have attachment, because he cannot analyze, he cannot practice silent meditation, then he will still have attachment. As a once Ratana, the Sakadagami, and he cannot analyze, he also cannot analyze material phenomena in as a animated, as a silence. He can see as a whole, he still can see as a whole, but he do not have any attachment for the beautiful things, no attachment. So actually his degree of refinement getting lesser and lesser. But the moment who became Nurratana, as I earlier said, that he can see any material phenomena in terms of, the way as they are, the way that they are. So when you look at our body, a body with a very powerful microscope, I think the doctor can see, So actually our body is, consists of a tiny particles, cells, we can say cells or atoms, like this. tiny articles. So actually they can see, non-returner can see, even the within. Arahant, of course, can see it. So that is called the knowledge of things as they really are. Yatha Buddha Jnana Darsana. So if they can see like this, there's no way for attachment. No way for attachment. Suppose you are eating a food, inside a lot of bacteria, a lot of bacteria. Very tasty. You're eating. So later you found out that inside a lot of bacteria, no attachment to that food, right? Like this. Very higher, very getting higher. So the purpose of concentration. For that reason, the concentration of non-returner and arahant is very high. So the purpose of concentration is to see things as they really are. Thank you for the question. Any more question? Okay. According to Abhidhamma analysis, right effect here is the energy or viriya, mental factor, in the supramundane path. So Abhidhamma mentioned the classification of evil and wholesome states. In Vibhanga state different level of classification of evil and wholesome state, starting from lobha, dosa, moha, greed, hatred, and delusion. And next one, defilements associated with lobha, dosa, moha. And we have some other defilement as well, where we in Abhidhamma 10 defilements. Number 3, 4 mental aggregates associated with the lobha, dosa, moha. Number 4, bodily and verbal and mental actions motivated by lobha, dosa, moha. So these are evil and unwholesome actions. Actually, definition of unwholesome mental state. Unwholesome state, not mental one. Unwholesome state. So what are the wholesome one? Non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion. These are the wholesome one. Non-greed, renunciation. Non-hatred, non-harming and non-ill. And non-delusion, right view and right intention. 4 mental aggregates associated with them. Bodily, verbal, and mental actions motivated by non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusions. So actually these are definition of wholesome state according to Abhidhamma. Actually when you read Abhidhamma, it gives detailed explanations. So, extensive, so comprehensive that it became complicated. Abhidhamma, the nature of Abhidhamma. It's so detailed and so comprehensive. So when you read, it became complicated. But if you know Abhidhamma, then you know suttas very well. Actually, they support each other, Right effect, that's all. Any question? It's really 4 types of right effect. If you have an unwholesome state in your mind, drive them away. If you do not have unwholesome state in your mind, protect, trying to prevent them. If you do not have a wholesome mental state, trying to develop. If you have, trying to maintain. Okay. No question, huh? Easy. But yeah, we are going to learn what is meditation. Before that, I want to talk about 5 criteria for meditator. Actually, I didn't send out this soda because very short one. So there are 5 factors or criteria of striving for meditation practice. Padani yinga, pranami, striving. So if you want to make effort for meditation, if you want to strive for meditation practice, 5 criteria. Number 1, placing faith in the enlightenment of the Tathagata, the Buddha. So actually, meditation method we are given by the Buddha. You must have faith to that person. If there's no faith or no satta, then no progress, no progress. Then you come and attend Soda study class, you must have faith to the teacher. Then no faith, no progress, no progress. There are many people who came for window shopping. Earlier time, at the beginning of the class, they came here for window shopping, Dhamma window shopping. Then if they don't like, they go. Anything, anything must have faith. No faith, then no improvement. So if you want to meditate, you must have faith in the Buddha. So that means you must know who is the Buddha and why you meditate. So what is meditation method? You must know it before you meditate. Number 2, possessing a good health. Important, must be healthy. If you are not healthy, very difficult to practice. So only for those who are serious meditator, they can manage to meditate when they are suffering. Actually, it's very hard, very hard. So possessing a good health is what the Buddha taught, isn't what the Buddha taught. Number 3, being honest and open. One who reveals himself as he really is to the teacher and to his wise fellow monks. Actually, the Buddha is talking to the monks for that reason. If you are going to meditation retreat, you must be honest and open to the meditation master. If you have a good meditation, then try to report as a good. If you are not having a good meditation, then report as it is, as a bad. Must be honest. No telling lie. No even white lie. Must be honest, 100% honest. If you are not honest, no improvement. When I was young, I went to meditation retreat, and then I try hard, but no improvement. Earlier 1 or 2 days, it's okay, as a new, Then after 5 days, there's no improvement, nothing to say. But every day we have to report to the teacher. So if we cannot report our improvement, not good. Then, so I thought, I listen what other people say. Then I use, not honest. I use their their experience, their experience. So for that reason, no improvement, no improvement. It's important to be honest. If we are not doing well, just tell the teacher not doing well. No telling lie at all, Sorry? But of course I'm trying. So at the end of meditation, getting better. Now, what I mean is, must be honest, no? When we are talking about our experience, especially. So, that's a very important one. Number 4, arousing energy for abandoning unwholesome qualities and acquiring wholesome qualities. That means you must have a 4 type of right effect if you want to meditate. For that reason, Bhikkhuni Dhammadena said that 4 type of right effect are the equipment for the development of concentration. Number 4. Number 5, possessing the wisdom. Here, the wisdom, definition of wisdom is here. Possessing the wisdom that descends, arising and passing away. Arising and passing away, which is noble and penetrative, and lead to the complete destruction of suffering. So number 5 is important. You must have a wisdom that descends, that know, arising and passing away of nama rupa. How nama rupa arises, how nama rupa disappears, which is noble and penetrated, lead to complete destruction of suffering. So actually this is definition of wisdom here. What is wisdom? Wisdom is knowing, arising and passing away of nama rupa, mental and physical phenomena. In your mind, some mental state will arise and disappear. In your physical phenomena, physical body, and material phenomena arises and passes away. That is wisdom. For that reason, actually, I have a question regarding with this one. So actually, this is as 2016, 3 years ago. Dear Pandey, in Abhidhamma, it is mentioned that only those who are born with the 3 wholesome roots, alobha, adosa, amoha, can attain jhana in this lifetime. It is also mentioned in any of the suttas. Please enlighten on that. What do you think? It is necessary. According to Abhidhamma, when you want to attain jhana, when you want to attain supramundane path and fruition, magga and phala, you must have a 3 root. You must was born with the 3 root. Alobha, adosa, amoha. See, especially amoha. Amoha is a non-delusion. Non-delusion is nothing but wisdom. It's quite right. If we look at this sutta, if we quote this sutta, you must have wisdom, no? Actually, this is one of the criteria for our meditation practice. We must have a wisdom. So we must have a amoha or non-delusion. For achieving here, actually here is not jhana, for the achievement of, the distraction or craving, that means, magga and phala. So according to Abhidhamma, if you do not have a wisdom, if you do not was born with the 3 root, that means you cannot attain any jhana. You cannot attain magga and phala. Then we can quote this sutta. Question?
Bhante, if you look at the question, they say are born with. So does it mean that only people who are born with this, even without a single day of practice, then they can achieve jhana? That's one. And is jhana necessary for us to meditate and to achieve enlightenment? Yeah.
Yeah, jhana is necessary. Jhana is a different level of jhana. Jhana and concentrations are the same. It is necessary. So, even attainment of concentration or jhana, you need a certain degree of wisdom. So, for that reason, Abhidhamma mentioned actually some people was born with the two root. Okay, alobha and adosa. They don't have a. They are not was born with amoha. So that doesn't mean they don't have amoha in this life. But they still have it, but their amoha is very weak. Actually, it's quite obvious. Some people are very intelligent. Some people are not intelligent because of our gene, because of our gene. So some people were born as an intelligent person. So intelligent and genius is based on the gene. We call actually, according to Abhidhamma, rebirth linking consciousness. For that reason, for those who do not was born with moha, then no way to attain jhana or magga and phala. So actually, I will quote this Sutta. Actually, she want to know, whether the Sutta also say the same thing. I will quote this Sutta. It's correct. Question?
So, Bhante, so in Abhidhamma, it is mentioned in the text that only those who are born with the three wholesome roots can attain jhana.
Yeah.
It is really mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with you, technically speaking, from this sutta, but then in real life, I believe that, it's just my belief, yeah? I may be wrong, I stand corrected. If this is indeed true, then there's no chance, there's very
No chance.
Yeah. So is that absolute? There's no chance. You have
But
no hope
The problem
in
is,
this life.
the problem is, normally, especially those who are here, I would say that you was born with the three root. But no, I mean, I'm not joking. I'm not telling the truth. So the reason is, to understand such a higher teachings, we need wisdom. Not easy, not easy to understand such teachings, I mean, for that reason, I always say that for those who are here, for those who are learning Abhidhamma, actually in Abhidhamma in Burmese, I always say that those who are here were born with the three root. With the two root, people who were born with the two root, no way to understand Abhidhamma, no way to understand such teaching. It's possible, it's not possible, is it? How is it? Yeah, is it? Sorry? No, cannot. Because there's a inborn gene, inborn gene. We call it actually in Abhidhamma, we call it kamaja. Kamaja, we call it kama. We call it kama. We were born, we were born because of karma, and we have a reset in this life. Cannot be cultivated. Because since in the conception, they have a jimpon.
Bhante, for Angulimala,
Angulimala.
So if he is born with alobha, adosa, and amoha, how is he still kill so many people, and then but finally still enlightened? So is it because along the way certain change, or is he still born with these three wholesome roots? Or with these three wholesome roots, how is it possible that he could take such actions to kill so many people?
Actually, there are many genres who was born with the three root, but they still kill so many people. Many genres, especially the presidents, the leader of the country, they're very intelligent, they're very knowledgeable, but they still kill. It depends on for that reason here, the way we interpret wisdom, the wisdom is to know whole sense as a whole sense, to know unwhole sense as a unwhole sense. Getting higher, to know Four Noble Truths, to know a nature, dukkha, anatta. So normally, even though we have a full of intelligence, I don't want to use the word wisdom. We are full of intelligence, but their intelligence is diluted with the delusion, deluded mind. Then they think that killing enemy is justifiable, can be justified. They think, their mind is deluded. For that reason, delusion will create a lot of problem. In this case, Angulimala also have a delusion at that moment. That he came, because his teacher ordered him to kill. He's obedient student. Then he went to please his teacher. Then he did it. Finally, luckily, he met with the Buddha. Okay.
Yeah, Bhante,
Okay.
in the connected discourses, book of causations, there's one sutta called Susima Sutta. I think it's sutta number 70,
Okay.
70. Susima is actually a so-called Dharma thief. He went in to try and steal the teaching. But the interesting thing about this sutta is he met a group of monks within the Buddha's dispensations. And they told him they don't have any supernatural power. I take it that in order to have supernatural power, you must have very high concentrations. And they told him they are liberated by wisdom only. And I think they say a couple of times. When I read the notes, it's even more confusing. So my question is it really necessary to have jhana to be liberated? It seems that this group of monks are telling him that they did it by just mindfulness meditation only, without any concentrations. So what is your interpretation?
Okay, I think we will use that sutta. So when we are talking about
Susima Sutta.
yeah, we'll use that sutta next year, not this year. Can you wait for a while?
Okay.
Because it's very complex,
Okay.
It needs a lot of time.
Yes.
We call it how to say it? Dukkha Vipassaka, drawing
Dry
insider.
dry insider.
Dry
correct.
insider. So
Yeah, dry insider.
actually, there are some arahant. So they do not have any jhana, but they practice. But they have a we call it temporary concentrations. So based on how to say degree of concentrations, they know mental and material phenomena in their true nature. Then they became arahant. We call it Sukha Vipassaka, dry insider.
Insider.
So actually they don't have a jhana. They're dry, dry more jhana. Actually we'll go to that next year, right? Okay. Sure.
Sorry, back to the same question. That people who are not born with the three wholesome roots will never be able to attain jhana in this lifetime. Aloba, adosa, and amoha are the roots. What is the definition of amoha? Is it knowing right from wrong? That means at the mundane level? Or are you looking at the definition of amoha being having the potential to understand things as they are? You know where I'm coming from, right? Because if you say that the definition of amoha is basically having the wisdom to know what is right, what is wrong, then I do certainly agree with what Abhidharma says.
You mean amoha represent wisdom? So wisdom is another name for vipassana, insight. Then I mean, what I understand your question is
I shall try to
you disagree regarding with the jhana.
Okay, I'll try to reframe my question. I actually feel quite sad if people who don't have three wholesome roots don't have a chance to attain jhana. So then I try to understand why is it that Abhidharma says this? What is Abhidharma trying to say? So then I looked at the three wholesome roots. Aloba is easy to understand, sort of. So is adosa. Amoha is a bit complex, So then is Abhidharma, so maybe if amoha is defined as just a simple, basic, fundamental ability to know what is right and what is wrong. And
Not just that. Actually, amoha or understanding of a different level. Those who born with the two root may have an understanding right and wrong, but they may not. Their understanding may not go up to jhana level. Actually, to attain jhana is very difficult. It needs a lot of understanding. Then, step by step. For that reason, amoha is necessary. Actually, when we learn second chapter, I think you will notice that Mahagata, Rupa and Arupa Cheta, and Lokottara Cheta. All these are, accompanied by wisdom. So actually, it's logical. But of course, actually, no chance. Hear me. The Buddha didn't lay down the rule. The Buddha just say, that just natural. Because for those who do not have a wisdom, enough wisdom, no chance, no way to attain jhana or magga and phala. That's quite natural. So for those people, so we have to practice compassion, and also we have to practice equanimity. So I have some friends who are very compassionate, and when he see those who are suffering or those who are sick, ready to go there, even he doesn't like that person, he still go there and ask, what can I do? So wherever something is needed, he will do it. Very compassionate, but no, cannot study lesson his way. Actually, he didn't even pass, on the second level, a simple level. He failed many times. Actually, no choice. We have to practice, all beings honor their own karma. So we have a different karma in our life. Some are very intelligent, some are very lucky, some are unlucky. But we have to understand, sabbe satta kammasaka. All beings honor their own karma. But we have to try our best to help them. But if cannot, we have to practice equanimity, equanimous mind. So actually, still want to go one more sutta, very short one. Unfavorable occasion for meditation practice. But when if you are grow old, not go to practice, it's important. It's important, you know. Grow old means if you cannot sit down, you know, you cannot sit down. Very difficult, you know, to practice. So you must start right now. Number 2, illness. If you are sick, cannot. Very difficult. Number 3, famine. Difficult to get food. So you're struggling to get a food. No chance to practice. Number 4, turbulent occasion, wartime. Difficult, you know? You have to run. Number 5, schism in the community or Sangha. If there is a schism in the community, then difficult. Difficult to get composure or concentration of the mind. Here, I just want to highlight number 1 and number 2, you know. When you stay young, practice. When you stay healthy, practice. Then only if you grow old, if you are sick, then you are able to fall, able to practice. Okay, so thank you so much. Time is up. Yo varatam pavaro manu Jesu Sakya muni pakavakata kecho paragato pala vidiya samangi Dan sukatan saranatamu Ragavi ragama ninjama sokan Dhamma masangatama patikulan Marurami mambakuna suvipatan Dhamma mimansaranatamu pemi Yatacha nama apalamahu Chatusu sisu puri sayugesu Ataja bogala Dhammadasate Sangha mimansar Mupemi Sadhu. Good night everyone.